Hello everyone. So in the last session we had discussed about how neural network mimics the human brain and we have seen that how powerful it is. In today's session we are going to compare the machine learning and the deep learning models. You might have definitely heard about the machine learning. So what is the difference between these two? And in fact what is the difference between the machine learning, deep learning and the general programming also? So we will discuss each and everything in today's session. We will see some of use cases as well. We will see how deep learning is efficient and when it is efficient to use. So let's start the session. So as it is mentioned that it's a field of study that gives the computer the ability to learn without explicitly programmed. When I say explicitly programmed, what does it mean? You have to first understand what is mean by general programming. Okay, so what it is about, it's like we are giving some logic or we are writing some logic to a program or maybe in whatever programming language we are using, and whenever we have to provide the variables or the data it has to generate some output. Okay, then that's what we are doing with the machine learning or deep learning? No, exactly no. It's like whenever we talk about the general programming, it's all about the rule based things. Okay, where we have the very fixed rules, based on that our machine learning or our programming should work actually. So now let's understand that how it is different. Okay, so the very first thing that you will come across is three words. One is artificial intelligence, second is the machine learning, and the third one is the deep learning. Often people who are just starting their career just get confused. Even I was also confused when I was starting my career in these three things. So generally if you are going to tell your parents or maybe those people who have no idea, generally we use the term, a broad term I would say, artificial intelligence. Okay, so what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a complete field of study that enables a computer to mimic the human intelligence. I'm not saying human brain, just human brain, it's all about human intelligence. What does it mean? Suppose you are making a robot, okay, and in that you, what do you need? How does a human work? It sends everything, it goes to the job, it learns, it cooks, it maybe it does all the things. So it's not programmed to do a particular say things. Like we do not say to a robot that okay, just identify the images or classify the images or maybe just do the face recognition. We do not say it. Okay, so when I'm saying I'm talking about the robot, we or like robot like a human, it means it should be able to do everything. Okay, like the way or the things that human does. When I'm talking about this whole complete intelligence, then it comes or it builds the complete AI. Okay, now I am talking about, I have talked about the complete human intelligence where I can speak. Okay, I can cook, I can learn the things. Okay, or maybe I can have the jobs, I can do my daily course. Okay, lots of things are there. So basically you have trained a robot to do all those stuff all together. This is called AI. Just taking a layman example. Okay, now when I'm saying machine learning, machine learning is a subset of this AI. When I'm saying I'm training my network or my data or my model in such a way that it can do a specific task, first thing. Second, it should be based on some mathematical algorithms. Okay, when I say about mathematical algorithm, it should work on some I would not say it's exactly rule, but there are fixed set of things where I can figure out okay why it happens. Suppose if you are trying to predict the house prices. Okay, like okay, you want to purchase a land and you are trying to predict the house prices, what will be the prices of that particular land after certain years. Okay, and you are using machine learning for that. So when I say you're using machine learning for that, you can figure out why it predicted that a particular property is going to be very high priced or maybe low priced. Okay, you should have the logic behind it. This is called ML here. Okay, now when I'm saying if I exactly want that it should mimic the human brain, because as we have discussed yesterday that human brain has lots of neurons into it, and we don't know exactly how it works. We just know that how it sends the things, and we know that it generated the response. Similar way deep learning works. Okay, it means it trains the network by its own and we get the output. So even till this date we are not known exactly how the DL network or deep learning or neural network works. Okay, and okay, I would like to explain one more thing here, where people use this term very frequently, that what is deep learning, what is neural network. Neural network is the basic key of the deep learning. When I say about the neural network, it means I'm trying to build an architecture like a human brain, but as I discussed, that human brain has billions of parameters and it's very deep in nature. That's why if I am making a neural network with too many architectures combined together, or I would say too many layers, that would be better word, then it will be called as a deep learning. I'll explain it in detail in the later sessions as well. So now we have seen just an overview, okay, that in the layman terms, if I take an example, so I can say, okay, if I want to speak better, yeah, I can learn either my model with the machine learning or with the deep learning, or maybe I can say if I want to just do a specific task which can actually learn the things the human brain works, then I'll use the DL. Okay, this is how it generally works. So now let's discuss the what is the difference between ML and DL in more process terms, or I would say one by one steps wise. So you can see here, when I'm trying to solve something with the machine learning, I always need the data. Then I try to extract the features extraction means I'm trying to figure out what parameters or what things are important. As I said, suppose if I'm trying to predict the prices of the house of a particular location, I'll see that what matters the most in predicting the prices, what is more important for me, that can help me to figure out what will be the prices in the future. Okay, and then when I'll get to know, okay, lots of information I already have, but among them I'm selecting the information that, okay, these piece of information might be helpful for me to predict the prices, then only I'm going to learning process. Like I have, then only those things I'm sending to my model or this machine learning network, which can learn, okay, this was the prices last year and maybe these are the parameters on which it depends to now. Suppose if I'm saying, okay, what will be the price of this land after 20 years, then I'm generating the output. This is machine learning. Now let's see the difference, or how powerful deep learning is. You don't even need a feature extraction. You just need the data. You have to feed it to the deep learning. Now deep learning, or I would say neural network. Okay. So you have to just feed it to the neural network, and its rest you have to leave it on us. Okay, so basically what you are doing, you are just sending the data, it extracts the features, it learns everything by its own, it automatically identifies. You don't need to give it explicitly that, okay, what is important or what I should learn. No, you have to just give the parameters and it will understand by its own that, okay, these things are important, I have to extract the features like that, and then you have to generate the output. Now you might think, but at least I should be aware of, right, that what things were actually important, or how did it learn. We still have not figured it out, or I would say that the scientists have still not figured out. That's why we call that architecture as a black box. Okay, now let's see the what is the difference between neural network and the linear regression. I think it might be pretty obvious with this diagram itself, the difference between neural network and linear regression. In fact, you can now compare the powerfulness of both the algorithm. This is the linear regression that we generally use, and this is the neural network. So you can compare the efficiency, or you can imagine the efficiency of both the things together. So now let's discuss about the technical differences between deep learning and the machine learning. So as we have seen that basic differences we have seen about the linear regression neural network, that okay, this is very complex and powerful deep learning. And if I say when it's complex and powerful, then it requires huge amount of the data to train the complete network so that it can predict accurately. Okay, and also when you talk about the machine learning, it can work with the lesser amount of the data. It means it does not necessary that I need to spend lots of data. Second thing, we need specialized GPU to train. Usually, it's not like that we can train any deep learning or neural network model on the CPU, but generally, if we are using huge data, it will take huge training time, and that's the reason we use GPU. What is GPU? GPU is something which helps to process the data parallelly, because it supports a parallel execution. You can think of it like that. In the human brain, neurons are distributed parallelly and they process the information all together. Similarly, we whatever data we have to process that data completely in the parallel way, so that it can efficiently train, and also it will consume lesser time as compared to what you train on your CPU. Now if I talk about machine learning, because it is trained on very less amount of the data, it can be trained on that, so it can train the model well on the CPU as well. Talk about this point, that why deep learning we have to use, like for a efficiency point of view. Then if you see here this graph, the amount of the data will increase, the performance of the deep learning will increase. Suppose if you are using this much amount of the data, okay, then you can see the performance of the other learning algorithm, either it's ML or maybe other algorithms, it will be actually the same performance. But when you are using in huge amount of the data, it can be handled well with the help of deep learning algorithms. Okay, so as the amount of the data will increase, a deep learning algorithm will perform better or will provide you more accuracy. And that's the reason nowadays, the data is getting increased every day, right? So that's the reason it will be better if we use deep learning, because every time when data changes, prediction will also change, or in that case we need a higher accuracy with large amount of data. Now let's discuss the some use cases. As I always say that, okay, we need lots of data, or we need a very huge amount of the data if we are going to train our network with the deep learning model or those algorithms. Suppose let's not take a very technical example. Suppose if you have to classify images, right? So every image is considered made of some pixels, right? So the more or better image it will be, like let's suppose if I'm talking about 1080 HD image, right, or 1080 cross image, then that much pixels will be there. Now you can imagine if one image has that much amount of pixel, then if we have around 1500 images, then how much data it will have. Okay, so in that case, to classify that, okay, which image it is, like let's suppose you have a database of images which contains the images of the cat and dog together, then it will be easy to use the deep learning and it will give more efficient results. In fact, generally it is considered that for images we use deep learning. Reason behind, with the deep learning we have lots of data can be handled, and with the images generally it consumes lots of the data. Okay, so for image classification, if I have to identify any particular object in the image, or we have to do some image segmentation. Image segmentation means we have to pick out a particular segment or particular area in a particular image, that is called image segmentation. Then also we need a pixel wise segmentation, and for that we have to use deep learning. Apart from that, suppose if you are going to identify that, okay, this voice is of which person, okay, this is called speech recognition, or maybe you want to understand the voice and then convert it into text, speech to text conversion. So this kind of data, which is generally considered unstructured because they do not have any proper format, okay, or I would say they do not follow a proper Excel sheet kind of data structure. That's the reason these are very unstructured, huge amount in the nature, and in all such kind of cases we prefer deep learning. There are other technical reasons too, we will discuss it in the detail, but these are the major challenges or that we face with the data, that if it's a huge we need to train some algorithm which can handle. Okay, so sentiment analysis, machine translation, speech recognition, basically these are the things that where we deal with the signals, we deal with the pixels, okay, or maybe we deal with the text. So these kind of the data, generally deal with the deep learning, or I would say better that neural network use cases. So basically in this whole session we have learned that what is the difference between a general programming and the machine learning programming and the deep learning programming. Also we have seen what is the subset of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, what is the difference between these two. Apart from that, we have seen that what is the process of a machine learning modeling and what is the process of other deep learning and what is the difference between them. We understood that how actually linear regression and neural network is different, and also we have understood the differences efficiency wise, data wise, training time, computation ways wise, and also we have noticed that what kind of use cases are there where it's good to use deep learning. It's not like we can't use machine learning, but it's always advised that we should use deep learning. Okay, so in the next session we will first understand the use cases in detail so that we can understand what is the actual problem, and then we will understand its solution. Okay, we will first see what is the problem that we might face, and then we will try to solve that thing with the help of neural networks or deep learning. Thank you.